Let's look at some of the things that the president mentioned on his Independence Day speech. And there's something that struck me in one of the things that he said is about a sense of history. He did say that he's disappointed that responsible leaders of communities fanning the embers of hate did not warn their youths about what the country went through during the Civil War. The Civil War happened majorly in your area, in the Southeast region. Are you disappointed with some of the events that led to the IPOP situation in Abia State?
Well, I'm not on top of what happened, but I can tell you, and of course I'm not there during the Civil War. I was a small boy during the Civil War, so I can't tell what happened during the Civil War. But I've said it here, Shehu, the agitations you see around Nigeria today is not domiciled only in the Southeast. It is all over the place. People are agitating for one thing or the other. People are clamoring even for destruction or the other. All this agitation is because of what I said earlier, because of a failed situation. When you have cumulative effects of leadership failure, you're now confronted with people who are living in a sense of hopelessness. So if you don't know where the next meal will come from, you become an agitator, you become anything.
Do you agree with the manner in which the federal government handled the case of the agitations in Abia State with the IPOP?
Well, it's not like I said. The only thing I disagree with is naming them terrorists.
You don't think they are?
No, they're not.
Their prescription is...
Definitely. No, those who took the decision maybe had information I don't have. You know, of course, they were done by governors of the Southeast. They are the elected leaders of the place. The elected leaders of the place. I live in Onitsha. And I can tell you they're not terrorists. Their people are passed on the road and everything every day. In fact, I can tell you in our manner they're civil. Because I meet them and I live with them. And I usually see people gathering and all that. And not one day did I feel a sense of threat or molestation or anything from them, even when they gather. You know, for me,
it's a special day for a lot of Nigerians. And if you look at just some of the things that the president did say, particularly on the issue of restructuring, he says why some of these calls proper in a legitimate debate. And he said that the irresponsible groups calling for dismemberment of this country. And he's saying that there is a need for people to think in the right direction of the authoritative structure of the states that can handle this, the National Assembly. If you are to handle this case, for example, if you are a president today, how would you handle when a lot of people are asking for restructuring of the country? Where would you start from?
Well, the clamor for restructuring has been on for a number of years. I believe that's why we have had a number of conferences. And for me, it is time that we look into this seriously. Not an issue of saying I don't think it's clamor for, call it, that anybody would neglect at this point. We have a structure that has not worked. So if you have a system that has not worked, the only thing you can do is to change it.
And how would you do that? In the case of Nigeria?
It's to bring everybody to the table. Those who are clamoring for it. Even all the agitators. This is a democracy. In a democracy, what you do every day is negotiation, negotiation, and negotiation.
So you are also of the school of thought that Nigeria is negotiable. Nigeria's unity is negotiable.
Everything in life is negotiable, Shehu. Everything.
The Biafran agitation, you think, is reasonable?
No. I said, bring everybody to table. Shehu, if you are living in your house in the morning and your gate man says he's not happy, ask him why he's not happy. Maybe just by me asking him, he'll be happy. You know, don't just say, go away. When you say go away, then it becomes standard. If anybody says I'm not happy, okay, come. That is why it's a democracy. It's a tolerance issue. We need to show more love, more care in this country. I served in office in this country. So I go to a place where people said, you're a useless man. And I stopped. How did I pay pensioners? I went to morning mass. On coming out, one Mrs. Sindibe, an elderly woman of about 80 years, held me. He said, why am I praying here when there is being old pension? That I should go and pay his pension first before I'm asking God to. And we stopped and we started talking. I said, Mama, what is it? He said he's been retired since nobody has paid him his gratuity, blah, blah. I said, I'm coming to see you this evening. I went to her house. After she told me what they were going through, I decided every pensioner must be paid their gratuity.
Do you think that the Southeast needs one more state to be 6?
Of course, yes. Look at what is everywhere.
Well, we probably anchor right now on your suggestion on the way Nigeria must go right now. A lot of people say, we hear the clamors are loud now. If you are a president today, what would you do?
I said, I'll bring everybody to the table.
In a sovereign national conference, or how would you do that?
Well, there's enough conference already. There's documents already.
So what is there? Precisely how
Why don't we get out the documents and get all those who are clamoring? Let's talk.
Your final word before we go. Nigeria at 57. Your final word.
Well, I think we need to do something. Showing the world has already moved from MDG to SDG. There's no reason why, at this point, we should not strictly follow the SDG goals. Mainstream it into our development.
All right.
Follow it strictly.
Okay. Mr. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra, said many thanks for your thoughts on the program. It was always a pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you.
Well, before we go, when Britain bid us farewell in 1960, power exchanged hands. They wished us a great and a noble future. That future is now. 57 years down the line, the nobility and greatness of the country is a subject of debate. We hope the years ahead is more fulfilling. That's our show for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sean Kimbaloye.